This is the X prompter. The cool thing about the X prompter is the fact that it has two screens. It has this screen right here, and if we open it, we have this other screen right here. This is foldable, by the way, so you can freely adjust the angle depending on what you need for the project, right? The angle adjustment can be made, it really only depends on the project you're using it on, right? So for this particular X prompter, there's two different models. There's a 1000 nits model and there's a 1600 nits model. So depending on the project you need and depending on the brightness, you can either buy the 1000 one or the 1600 one, right? Talking about resolution, this X prompter offers 4 different resolution rates, right? So depending on the project you need, maybe you need a higher resolution, maybe you don't need that high of a resolution, you can freely adjust it inside the X prompter, right? So talking about digital source inputs. So the X prompter here has, you can either control it. Okay, let me show you a little bit better. So we have this prompter monitor here, and we have this talent monitor here, right? So the prompter monitor controls the top monitor. The talent monitor controls the bottom monitor. So for the prompter monitor, you have a video input, an SDI input, an HDMI input, an LTC, and a tally. The LTC and tally are in the bottom monitor, right? As you can see here. This space right here, this part in particular, you're going to be able to watch the clock function, and this part right here, you're going to be able to watch the tally function. So depending on what you need specifically, you can freely adjust those as necessary, right? Okay, looking at the talent monitor. The talent monitor, we have an HDMI input, we have an SDI input, we have a video input, and then we also have the power input, which is where you connect the power supply, right? So now we're going to talk about the buttons. For the prompter monitor, these buttons will control the top screen, right? So we have the power button, we have the input button, we have an enter, up, down, and menu button, which will control different options inside the monitor, right? So you click the menu button and it's going to show you a list of different things you can adjust. Maybe you need a bigger brightness or something like that, right? So you can adjust it freely depending on that. And then finally, we have this mirror function right here. So the mirror function works a little bit special. So let's say, for example, you're going to use a teleprompter and you're going to need to add a glass here so you can reflect the text from the glass, right? So how does it work? Basically, you press the mirror function and everything that's being shown on the teleprompter screen is going to reflect, right? So when you reflect it and it gets reflected from the mirror, the other person here is going to be able to see it clearly. It's going to be able to see it properly. Yeah, and that's about it really. Like, there's the other buttons right here, the talent monitor buttons, and then these are the same buttons as the ones before. There's the mirror button, there's the menu, the down, the up, the enter, the input, and the power buttons. All work the exact same way. And yeah, that's about it for the X prompter. Yeah, thank you.